Latif. A shop worker from Kentish Town who's been living in the capital for 26 years has told this programme how he was locked up in a detention centre and fears being deported. Residents and the local MP rallied around Stojan Jankovic, known as Stoly, to secure his release. The Home Office says the 52-year-old has no right to be in the UK. Alpa Patel has the story.
Celebrities are tweeting about him, including Gary Lineker and Jon Snow. A petition has been signed by thousands and handed into the Home Office.
Any time for us.
They are talking about this man, Stojan Jankovic, known here in Kentish Town as Stoly. He came here 26 years ago to escape war in the former Yugoslavia. He hasn't been back since because he feared he wouldn't be allowed back into the UK.
I haven't actually had any family life for 26 or so years. I haven't sat at the table with my mother, for instance. I haven't been at my dad's funeral or my grandmother's funeral or several of my friends' funerals.
Stoly is living in London illegally, but he has been working for the owners of this shop for 14 years. He has a national insurance number and pays his taxes. So why didn't he sort out proper documents to stay legally?
I just got really sort of paralyzed. You know, I can speak to you in Serbian or English. We can speak about weather or we can discuss theology or whatever. However, I can't fill up the forms. I can't.
Last Thursday, after 26 years, Stoly was arrested and taken to this immigration centre in Dorset. He does admit he spent a short time in prison in the 90s for drugs offences, which is why he didn't sort out his situation sooner.
I'm concerned at the way in which he was detained and the fact that the proposal was to remove him before he had time to take legal advice or make representations. At the bare minimum, it must be right for people to make representations and to have the opportunity to consult a solicitor.
Stoly's story is the main topic of discussion here. People asking how he is, when they'll see him next. Customers have offered him legal advice. One even drove him back from Dorset yesterday.
Stoly is he's really a part of the heart of the community. He's very encouraging to people.
He's charming, lovely, funny, kind. I mean, I watch him sometimes with elderly people and blind people. He's so kind.
Local support may have got him released from detention, but Stoly now has 2 weeks to fight deportation or face leaving the place he calls home.
And Alpa's here now. So what has the response been from the Home Office?
Well, the Home Office says we do not routinely comment on individual cases. But it's interesting because Stoly is one of 400,000 people, roughly speaking, living illegally in London. That's around half of the number living illegally across the whole country. Now, we've spoken to one immigration lawyer who says there are some things that you can do. He advises that you should seek legal advice as soon as possible with specifically an immigration advisor. He says be as frank about your case as you can to the immigration advisor who can give you the best advice. Next, he says try and work out with the advisor the most relevant points to build up your case and which category you fit into. But he does recognise that the Home Office website is confusing, so he understands why people are intimidated by the forms and the things out there that people just don't understand.
OK, and you'll be following Stoly's case, won't you? Alpa, thanks very much. Alpa Patel. Coming up later in the programme.